Yeah, sorry for the wait. From the time between the Eminem video I made to now, a lot of shit happened. I was planning on rewatching the show in preparation for this review, but was sidetracked a bit due to IRL shit, and I had to halt this review for some time. Then, after that, I finally managed to find time to work on the script, rewatch the show again for this thing to finally start moving forward, so that's how this video's here. And I appreciate your guys' patience. Also, huge thanks to Almighty Lolly for providing me the means of getting a new mic. You're awesome, man. Also, the Eminem video is no longer up because I plan on remaking it soon. Audio obviously needs work. That was my biggest criticism when the video first came out, and there are some other things in script that I can actually use some fine-tuning. Okay, with that out of the way, on to the review.
It's about to get heavy. It's about to be on. Yeah, man, you're slinging napalm. So nobody move, 'cause I was sent to warn you. The devil's in the next room.
The early to mid-2000s were a certified period for edginess for many things. If you grew up watching MTV shit, you know what I'm talking about.
Tonight on Scarred. Hold on. We're bringing you broken arms.
You broke your wrist.
Busted faces and tennis. Tennis?
This can also be applied to anime as well, with series like Blood Plus, Blood C, and several other shows that didn't hold anything back. Granted, not every anime in this period was edgy per se, but a lot of them are definitely darker. Standalone Complex, Samurai Champloo, and the first Fullmetal Alchemist series are examples of this, with storylines that became more complex with more darker subject matters. Rin, however, kind of tries the lines in between. What do I mean by this? Well, let's take a look. Rin Daruzume's Fune is a 6-episode series that follows Rin and Mimi, two immortal women who run a private investigation agency. For the first half of this series, it is mostly semi-episodic, with Rin performing investigations that are somewhat tied with the previous episode. The series then takes a huge turn at episode 4. What happens exactly I will not specify. This is a spoiler-free review since this is an anime not many have watched nor talk about. As for the plot, I would say that it is well paced, at least in the beginning. The show does a really good job with setting up mysteries like of how Rin and Mimi are mortal, or how this world works, and who might be the villain behind the scenes, pulling strings behind characters like Laura, an assassin who pops up almost every episode acting as a thorn in Rin's side. As for the second half of this series, things kinda do feel like they're jam-packed together. In all honesty, I do believe at some point this was meant to be a full series like Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, fleshing things out a bit more, like the world and characters and how they change over time, because with what we have, things do feel like they are meant to be a bit longer. Even though each episode clocks in close to an hour long, there are still a few moments that leave you asking,
Why?
Especially the villain. Avoiding spoilers here, but the main villain Apos is okay. He's serviceful in giving our protagonist something to stand up against, but his motives kinda leave much to be desired. Avoiding spoilers, but the guy is clearly just basically trying to become God, or at least this world's version of God. But unlike someone like Father, he doesn't really have that much presence in the show, say the beginning where he's being set up. Overall, the main plot's pretty good. Starts off pretty familiar, but almost immediately goes into original territory. The pacing and structure is good till the last 2 episodes. As mentioned before, would work better if there were more episodes afterwards to flesh and spread things out a bit more. The main cast, Rin, Mimi, Kyoki, are all serviceable characters. Each have different personalities, even though they're not the most deep characters. And honestly, Rin might be the most fleshed out character of the cast, since she gets a few flashbacks here and there, with a few hints to what her life could have been like before she became this world's version of Connor McCloud. As for secondary characters like Truki and Mushio, they're basically there to push the plot forward. Granted, it is neat to see Kyoki's descendants as the series goes on, but they don't really add much to the show.
Now you pack your bags, the party's such a drag, and everyone can tell that you're poisoning the well.
Despite some derps here and there, the animation is pretty stellar, especially since some characters are immortal. Action scenes are energetic, show the brutality of someone getting stabbed, shot, burned, or eviscerated. Arms get cut off, heads get blown off. It's a good old time for the kids.
'Cause it's about to get heavy. It's about to be on.
In conclusion, Ren Darsume Fune is an underrated series. There might be some problems here and there, but the action, mystery, and writing, for the most part, are pretty good. Dub, in my opinion, is pretty decent if you want to check that out. Also, David Ayers is in it, so that's a plus.
Having a secret affair?
Yeah, right. I'm single, you know that.
So if you haven't watched the show, I recommend it regardless. As for what comes next, possibly I might do a comic review, either Birthright Saga or any other anime or manga that comes out. I'll leave you guys to recommend anything in the comments below. So on that note, take care. Oh, and also there's tits.